Invia Wound Therapy from Medela Healthcare, the negative pressure wound therapy system from the Name Hospitals Trust. Open the box that you have received from Medela. Save carton for easy return once the therapy has been discontinued. Inspect all parts to ensure completeness and that damage has not occurred. Remove the Invia Liberty pump from the box and attach the electrical cord to the pump. Plug the cord from the pump into an electrical outlet. The pump will automatically start charging, and this will be indicated by the flashing battery symbol. If your pump has run out of battery power while it is in use, it will take 3 hours to fully recharge the battery. You can still use your Liberty pump during this time. Once the battery is fully charged, it will last for approximately 12 hours and can be viewed by checking the digital display on the screen. Remove the suction tubing from the sterile packaging. Attach this tubing to the Liberty pump with the small end placed directly into the pump. Remove the canister from the sterile packaging. Insert the canister into the grooves on the bottom of the pump and sweep forward, clicking into place. Insert the connector into the drain tubing. First application of the Invia Liberty pump. Start the pump in the administrative mode. The administrative mode is used to make changes in the patient's therapy or to set up therapy for the first time. Turn the pump on by depressing the arrow button on the bottom left and holding while pressing the power button and quickly releasing. This action will start the pump in the administrative mode. The first screen that will appear is the Medela Incorporated logo screen. At the bottom of the screen, you will notice that the pump is loading by observing the line moving across the screen. The next screen that will appear is the disclaimer. You will need to read this screen and press OK to continue. You will be directed to the next screen, which will ask you if this is a new patient. A new patient is described as someone who has not used negative pressure wound therapy before with the Liberty pump, or they are using the Liberty pump on a different wound. When New Patient is selected, a screen will appear showing the serial number and patient therapy ID. Press OK to move to the next screen. The main screen will appear and highlight all of the functions of the Liberty pump. Battery usage, days, hours in use, therapy number, C equals constant, I equals intermittent, and a running circle that will demonstrate use of the pump. You will also notice that there will be an unlocked padlock symbol. This identifies that you are able to change the settings of the pump. To change the vacuum level, press either the up or down arrow key while the padlock symbol is open. This is the administrative mode. Once you have selected the pressure, press OK. The padlock symbol will close after 60 seconds. This is now in patient mode. When in patient mode, no changes can be made to therapy. The only functionality that can be changed is powering the pump on or off, or silencing an alarm. You can return to the administrative mode by depressing the arrow button on the bottom left and holding while pressing the power button and quickly releasing. The graph mode will allow you to view your patient's history during the use of this therapy. To observe the graph mode, press both arrows at the same time. This will display a written graph of the therapy usage or alarm function. To return to the original page, you must push the back arrow button. You may also change other parameters in the administrative mode. To make these changes, push the two bottom arrow keys at the same time to change the pressure, unit pressure, runtime, language, or time zone. Press OK to select a parameter. Set your parameter and press OK. Once you have selected your settings, the pump will automatically lock after 60 seconds. To turn the Liberty pump on after an interruption in therapy, press the Start key. You will see the run circle start and the padlock symbol will close after 60 seconds. To monitor an alarm, you can silence the pump by pressing the up and down arrows at the same time. During this period, you can then determine the problem and make necessary adjustments. An error code and written display of the error will be shown on the display screen. Once the error has been corrected, press the On button to restart the pump. Perform an operational check with the pump before placing on patient. To turn the pump on, press and release the Start key. To turn the pump off, you will need to hold the Start key for 5 seconds. Clamp your suction tubing. This will prevent drainage release through the tube. When removing the canister between dressing changes, press the arrow key on the lower left-hand side of the pump for 3 seconds. This will put the pump into a standby mode. Press down on the blue button on top of the pump and release the canister. At this time, you can also replace the suction tubing if needed by pulling the small end out of the Liberty pump and placing a new suction tubing into its place. After removing the canister, turn it around. You will notice on the right side of the canister there is a small plug that can be removed and inserted into the opening. This will allow easy disposal of the canister without leakage of the drainage. Insert the new canister. Turn the pump on by pressing the On button and unclamping the tubing. Wound measurements should be taken with consistency and accuracy. Accurate measurement of the wound is crucial for wound management and reimbursement. This can also be valuable for early detection of changes in a patient's condition. Wounds should be measured in centimeters. Wounds should be measured at least weekly or according to facility guidelines. For width, you should measure from wound edge to wound edge as shown here. For length, you would measure again from wound edge to wound edge as shown here. Lastly, depth. This will require a cotton tip applicator. Place the applicator to the deepest part of the wound. Now take this area and place along a ruler. Note all 3 dimensions with each measurement. If you would have undermining, tunnels, or tracks within a wound, these would be measured separately. The pump has been set up as instructed. Check the suction to ensure satisfactory function of the equipment. We will now begin by using the Invia Wound Therapy Tier 1 set. Remove all contents of the set, making sure you have all required supplies. Prepare the wound. Cleanse the wound as directed, or use normal saline to cleanse and irrigate your wound. Pad dry with gauze pad. Prepare skin by using the no-sting barrier. This will allow adequate time for drying while you dress the wound. Remove the non-adherent contact layer and cut so it mimics the wound but does not track onto the peri-wound area. The non-adherent wound contact layer should fit within the wound borders. This layer is designed to minimize disruption of granulation tissue and reduce discomfort during dressing changes. This also allows for even distribution of suction throughout the wound bed. Next, take the antimicrobial gauze and moisten with saline. Wring out excess saline so the gauze is moist, but there is not excessive amounts, which could cause the dressing not to adhere properly or maceration to the peri-wound area. Cut the gauze so you have a single gauze layer in the wound bed on top of the non-adherent layer. Remove the flat drain. Measure the drain so it is placed within the wound borders. This can be accomplished by cutting the drain so it is closest to the middle of the wound. This allows for slight movement without touching the wound walls. Place the drain on top of the antimicrobial gauze layer. Fill the remaining depth of the wound with moistened antimicrobial gauze. Fill with gauze until it becomes flush to skin level. Be careful not to overpack. Seal the system with the transparent dressing. Remove the window from the picture frame. This will allow you to view the wound while you are sealing the wound. Start at the opposite end of the drain. Gently walk the dressing down until you get to the tubing. Slightly raise and pinch to seal from leaks. Attach drain tubing to the Christmas tree connector. Turn on machine to constant suction that has already been set. Look and listen. You should see the dressing collapse if a proper seal has been made. If you do not have an adequate seal, you will need to patch any leaks with the excess transparent dressing until you see the dressing collapse. You should also listen to make sure you do not hear any leaks in your seal. Monitor that the appropriate suction level has been achieved and maintained. Use the tape and secure the drain to prevent accidental removal of the system. Be careful not to place the drain tubing over any bony prominences or places that the skin is fragile. Rotate the position of the drain tubing with each dressing change to decrease the potential of tissue damage to the area directly under the drain tubing. If the peri-wound area is fragile, you may need to protect with a layer of transparent dressing or a hydrocolloid type dressing. Dressing changes are recommended every 48 hours unless otherwise directed by the prescribing clinician. See troubleshooting instructions if technical problems arise. Contact Medela or visit www.medela.com for product availability in your area. For assistance with product operation, contact Medela Customer Support or refer to the Instructions for Use manual. 877 My Invia. This product is not available in all countries. Visit www.medela.com to learn more about international distribution.